Welcome to Deep Thought. A few people soar like eagles. You know what? I was talking about many people being in a prison of the mind and how they fight against those who will free them. But in everything in life, for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. That's just how life is, no matter what. If you have a person who's like a super genius, you'll have someone who is severely mentally disabled, like extreme. But it's just like everything else. Okay, you have plenty of people who are in that prison of the mind, however they got there, however they chose to be there or, manipulated to be there, however they got there. But then you have some people, a few really, who soar like eagles. And one thing about eagles, and I actually have this poster from picture. I haven't had it up in a while. I need to put it up again. And it's from back in the 1990s. I've had it. It says eagles, leaders are like eagles. You only find them one at a time. And that's the thing. You have some people, their minds are free. Their minds are free. They're not limited by anything. They're not limited in different areas. They're not limited as to the type of person that they can find for a mate. They're not limited on how much money they think they can make in the world. They're not governed by a fear that prevents them from doing something new. There are so many things to these people, and they're just soaring. They have a happiness to them. They're not hurting themselves. And even when they're in, like anybody, they're going to come across some issues. I mean, that's normal. Look, that's normal. There's no shame in it. It happens. But just the way they are, they're going to soar above it. They'll soar above a problem. Indeed. They got a little bird's eye view of stuff because of how they're soaring. And then they can figure out what to do to fix it. They say, oh, okay, got this problem here, but then I can bring something from over here. I can do this. Because their minds are so open, they're not limited in their response. You realize in a single moment, and yeah, I know this will go a little deeper, but you realize in a single moment, you got millions of possibilities. That's because their mind isn't limited. That's how powerful it is. Because you have some people who can look very successful, but they still have some limits. You have some people, they don't have any limits. They can soar as high as an eagle, go where they want like an eagle. They can be like an apex predator. That's because their minds are not in the prison. Now, they might have been at a prison at one point and then just figured out how to escape and to keep themselves out of that prison. And they're soaring, because going through life, most people really don't succeed in life at anything because of what's going on inside of them. Let me say that again. Because of what's going on inside of them. Like I said, it's not the days. The days are really not that powerful. Critical mass of people turn over the days. So it's the people themselves. And then within an individual, they understand that. They see the world in bright colors. Yeah, they see some bad stuff and all of that, but then they also see the solution because they're soaring above everything. And we need more people like that. We need more people like that because there's nothing. There's nothing we're stuck with. One of the few times I'm going to get really political on here. People always complaining about the two-party system, right? The thing is, we got multiple parties. We got multiple parties, like in this country. We got multiple parties. Who says we're stuck at the two? They'll present that, but they're really just part of the same party. If you take the limits out your mind, you realize, hey, wait a minute. It is possible. It really is possible for a third party to take over. No, it really is. People don't think it is, but no, if you actually know the system, and understand, hey, how to get on the ballot in all 50 states, and then use social media to advertise, get your position out there. You got the ability to do stuff a lot better. Now, it might be somebody actually thinking on that level. They might be like, I don't know. It's like, well, yeah, it's possible, but that's just a possibility of opening your mind. A lot of stuff is there. Freedom is already there for people, but you have to be someone who opens your mind to the freedom. Because once you open your mind, it's like, oh, wow, I've gone through it. Just as I'm here to have this conversation with you, there was a time I didn't see all of this because my mind was in a prison. I have no shame in admitting it. My mind was in a prison. I was thinking, okay, this is all I can do with this. I couldn't see anything else. But then I started seeing some openings. I was like, oh, wait a minute, let me go for it. Now the sky is the limit. So if I can do it, I want y'all to do it. Seriously, I want y'all to do it. And I share stuff like that because I want you to know I'm climbing that mountain with you. And if I can do it, you can do it. But you want to soar, you want to fly. Think about, I want everyone listening to this. I want you to sit back and think, am I in a prison? Am I limiting myself from doing something? What's keeping me from doing it? I think, oh, is it how I look? Is it my race? Is it my gender? Is it my political beliefs, my spiritual beliefs? Are they really limiting you? Or is it that you just think you're limited? I want you to really think about that. I want you to really, really think about that. Do you want to be in that prison? Do you want to be that elephant chained by an invisible link to a post? Or you want to be that eagle that soars above everything? That mighty eagle, the apex predator. I want you to think about that, And yeah, you know what? It's a tough world. It really is because a lot of people ain't there. A lot of people aren't there. But who's to say? Who's to say you can't get a critical mass of people who are just on that path of freedom? You know why? Because you're not limiting yourself. You're not saying it's impossible. You say, you know what? It is possible. I want you to really think about that, I'm looking at something on this music in the background. It says, never limit yourself because of others' limited imagination. Never limit others because of your imagination. I want y'all to think about that. Get yourselves out of that prison. That's all I have for today, y'all. I want y'all to really think on what I'm saying, all right? Peace and blessings.